Hey, welcome back to the next section of this cube turning tutorial. Now, last time we rotated this cube and it didn't go through the floor but moved up like this. And so now what I want to do here is make this cube move. So let's move it. So there's a couple things that need to happen. One, we need to move this cube. So we're going to use a Shift A search set position. And we're going to move this cube along the X location while it rotates. So we have to also do another thing here is do some math. And the math is for every rotation this does, like one full rotation of 360 degrees, it is going to move the circumference of this object. This math is pretty easy for this object here because it is 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, so we know the circumference is 8. So what we're going to do is go Shift A, search math. Then we are going to go hit 8 here. And then we're going to go into a combine XYZ. And it's already on the X where we want it to move. Feed that into there. Move that back to 0. Now what we are going to do is do some more math for the rotation. Now with geometry nodes, there's two things. There's degrees and there's radians. Radians is, how do I describe it? It is the float value for degrees, if that makes sense. I'll just show you. We're going to go Shift A, search math, combine XYZ, put that to the Y. Now, radians, one full radian of 360 degrees is 6 point something or 6.3. But you can actually just type in TAU and you get 6.283 value, which equals 360 degrees. So I will show you there. So 0, 0.5, and we want to set this to multiply, and we want to set that to multiply. So 0 times this, but as we move, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 times 6.283 equals 360 degree rotation. I've already added a socket to my group input. So if I feed that value into the value here, then Shift D, value into the value, and then look at that. it is rotating and moving. Now, if you look really close, because of the nature of the object, it's not 100% perfect for this example, but from a distance, you don't really notice that as much. So depending on what you're doing, it should be just fine. But this is just a fun example to show an object moving. Now, I did create more of a advanced setup here for a cylinder. And I'm using the same math to make that cylinder move. And I still run into the same issue. So if I go into my cylinder creating group, so I have a cylinder, I'm using transform geometry, rotating it so it's facing the right direction. And then to get the circumference of this object here, I'm branching out. I'm scaling everything, so I'm scaling everything to very thin. I'm merging by distance, converting that mesh to a curve. Then I can use the fancy curve length node, and that gives me the circumference. Then I'm feeding that into a store named attribute and calling that attribute cur for circumference. Then in this node, instead of hard coding the circumference on this math node here, that is the same value right here, I am feeding this named attribute cur into that socket, which gives me the ability to move and rotate that object here. Now, it still has the same limitation. If I make this object super skinny like this, that part is super noticeable. And I still haven't figured out the right steps to mitigate that, but this is a fun example to show you how it works. So, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. Have a great day.